Well, hello and welcome back. My name is Kieron Seamons. This is my inky little world, and today we are going to be answering the question of book design cover. How do you come up with the concept for a book cover? So, let's get into it. So today we're talking about the cover design for a book, and it's not going to be much drawing today. Just a kind of like a Sharpie, but it does give me the chance to wear a white T-shirt, and there's not very many chances I get to wear a white T-shirt with all my ink flying around, and that's one of my Worry Lips T-shirts on the Etsy shop, and I think it looks fabulous on a white T-shirt with the red logo. Really pleased with that. Can you see it nice? Woohoo! So, into the book cover design. Well, we started off with the original idea, the original concept was black and white, because most of the book is in his mind, in his world, it is grey. So a lot of that world is ghosts and his grey thought, his grey world, basically. So the cover, the only thing that I really wanted to have in colour originally was, I'll show you the cover there, was the logo and the author name down here. So I wanted a nice bright colour. In fact, I think we used red in the final. Well, funnily enough, there's one there, a different, where we actually used red. You can see the difference. There's obviously two different books, but on one we used a purple and one we used a red. And the fun thing about that was that at the time I remember going through, and I had done this thing on online where I had done a four different the same design but with using different colors, and we did like a red one and a green one and a blue one and a purple one, and then we got people to choose. And what we found was amazing was that the original use of that kind of theory was that you would end up with like 90% people saying red, and then you'd have a few little stragglers saying the other colours. But it wasn't that way at all. It actually went through that it was very much kind of 25, 25, 25. So I think that's probably why when we did book one and then, or I think it's book one and then book two and then book three. I think book three is green. And we actually used that to help us. We used that as a kind of like, each color worked. Although I still have a favorite with the red. But the original idea was to keep it in the black and the white. So the original concept really was all, the book was black and white. And my main original idea was, obviously, since he's in a nice little drawing down there of him having dinner with Mr. Lemons, that he was in a grey world. So, and it was the subject was ghosts. So I was really pleased with that one when I did a black cover. And in fact, I should have done a gloss cover, because a black gloss would have been really, really. But I never went on to do the hardback version of those. I wonder why I didn't. But it's still one of my favourite books of all time. It really is one of those. But the original concept was keeping the writing style in white, the frame of the image in white, and then the grey inside, and then the rest of the book is black. And even the side is just black and then red or purple, whichever we used. Another lovely little illustration down there at the back, just as a little balance off for the QR code or the barcode. So that was the original thing. Now the image inside the book had to come up with the three points. One is the ghosts, two is obviously Norman, and 3 is love. Now that's the triangle in this story. The triangle is he is in love with this girl and the ghost is in love with him, and that's the kind of triangle that we. So it was very, very, very important to continue that triangle in each of the illustrations. In fact, if you look at the other book, you can see that you have Norman, his love, and the ghost. And the ghost is kind of leaning over the top there. And I was very pleased with those designs and the concept of that black and white. I thought it would be very striking. If you went into a bookshop and you saw all the colourful books all saying, choose me, choose me, choose me, choose me. And then right in the middle of it, you would have that. You'd think, what is that? Or hopefully you would think, what is that? So that was the part of the concept of that. So when we went on to the novel, I had to kind of change things a little bit. I had to kind of think of how to make it different, keeping the same elements, the writing text style, the grey image style, but then I decided to use the book cover was orange, and in fact we did that with the smaller edition as well. In fact, it's actually the same orange, believe it or not. People have said, why did you use 2 different oranges? It's actually that this is a gloss orange. You can see it shining there with the light, and that is a matte. So it's the same orange, but the gloss kind of made it look darker, but it's actually the same color. So we went with this orange, and I went through and I did a lot of different types of colors. There's the back of it. Another lovely little drawing down there of her following him. And the orange, I felt, made the grey stand out. And it's a very strange kind of thing to talk about, because I went through the colours. I went through the kind of the green, the blue, the purple, and none of the colours seemed to work. None of the other colours seemed to push the grey forward. And except for the orange. And for some strange reason, the orange made the grey special. The only thing that's the side with the black and the back. The only thing maybe with the orange, maybe I wouldn't have used red for the text, thinking about it. But at the same time, I was really struggling with getting things to work with grey and with orange. And that balance of colour was really quite tricky. You really play a lot for many, many, many hours trying to get that to work. And so the image in the middle, this time I didn't want it to just be the 3 elements, the love, the ghost, and him. This time I wanted to give a glimpse into the whole world of Norman. And we came up with this cover. I keep saying we. We is me and Mr. Miro. But I've just... I know it sounds really, really crazy, but I keep coming up with this idea that it's like me and Mr. Miro are like a team, you know. And we did this. We go to the park. We do the drawings. We make the videos. I wish he would do some of the editing, that's for sure. So this is so you have Norman, and you have his love, Zoe, and you have the ghost coming down from the ceiling, and you have all the ghosts behind. And you've got a big spider there where you'll find out that all the spiders are kind of talking to him and giving him advice. And you have Death, the Grim Reaper. And you have the Nightmare Sucker. And you got the Goldfish. And you got Mr. Lemons, Pinky the Goldfish. And you got Mr. Lemons. And who else have I missed out? Have I missed anybody else out? So that kind of gave a little bit more of an insight, a warmer feeling. Whereas when I was doing this version, I was going for impact. I was going for that kind of instantly you will see it, it's something different, something original. Whereas this one, I was trying to get you into this world. And because it became, with the more images in there and the more characters in there, it became darker and darker. So the orange really, really supported it. So the big logo there of the Ghost Tabulous experience. The Ghost Tabulous came from the collection that we did earlier on. The 3-book in 1 book collection. So that's where the Ghost Tabulous came from. And that was the cover. And I'm really, 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 really rather pleased with that cover. I really feel like it explains the whole world. Like really tempts you to open the book. What else is going on in there? What's happening in this book, you know? What is this? What is that? And I feel like by the time you kind of gone through it, there's some, I can't remember a lot of these illustrations. It's been so long. It's a lovely one there. Him and Mr. Lemons in the rain. This first book, oh, I love that. Look, him having a discussion with one of the spiders, and this spider is not really very friendly. So that was a little bit of an insight into the book cover. Now it does change a lot for each character. Each, you know, for King Rara I'd have to work on this kind of concept, and for Emily I'd have to work on that concept. Cat Cat I'd have to work on that concept. See, Cat Cat was one of those ones. Cat Cat was really about colour. The naughty cat. Let me see if I can pull that out. See, Cat Cat was all about using colour, as much colour as you can throw on the book, and that was a really nice thing, using the black ink and colour. Whereas with the Worry Lips, it was really about getting this whole concept of the grey world, and Norman, the ghost, and his love. So there's a little insight for you, a little bit of a explanation. I know people have been asking about does the book cover mean anything? Why did you think this? Why did you do this? So I'm really, really, really pleased that you've asked and repeated to ask, so that I've got this moment to do it. So thank you very much. And which one did you think? Which one do you like? Do you like the orange, or do you like the black and white? I'm really curious. I'm really, really, really curious now. You've got me thinking. Did you like the red, or did you like the purple? Too many questions. So which one would you have chosen? Maybe you bought both. Hopefully. Because I'm an independent guy. These books are done through love. They're done through my own desire to do books. My own passion for the love of illustrations and stories. And if you get a moment, pop over onto the shop and get yourself a gorgeous new t-shirt. That one is the cover of the book, where she's peeking over the top, and it's really nice actually. I feel very clean, because usually I don't wear much white because I'm using so much black ink that I get spots all over the place. So thank you very much for all your support, all your comments, all your donations, all your buying of the books and buying of the products. I love you all very much, and I do wish you a very, 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 very fantastic day. Give me your thoughts. Which book would you like? The black one, the orange one? What's your thinking there? Give me some thoughts. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.